Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP, and once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here just above 61 cents. It was a red day for XRP. And now the AMM is live, and I see a lot of disappointed people all over X. That's because for the past couple of days, couple weeks, people were hyping this up to be something massive. And like I said, whenever you put a day on something, expect nothing to happen on that day. People were saying $10 plus because of the AMM, day one. And that's why I always tell you, I don't try to hype things up at all, because I want to keep you grounded in what you're holding. But at the same time, I don't want you to expect something big and only end up with disappointment. But like I said, we will see movement come from the AMM. As there's more demand for XRP, the price is going to rise gradually over time. And even Bitcoin had a red day today. And the Bitcoin community and the XRP community are no different. I see people over there now saying Bitcoin's going back down to $20,000. It's like, come on. Bitcoin is going to achieve more all-time highs yet this year. You know, everybody thinks the sky's falling once the market turns red. Once the market's green, that's it. Bitcoin's going to $1 million and XRP is going to 10K. That's how crypto works. That's how fast the narrative shifts. But like I said, gradual upward movement based off the AMM. And you see, the first 5 AMM pools were created, and asset one is XRP. As we see more of this happening, of course it's going to drive more demand over time. Now, I got a lot of shit for this post. I had people DMing me and everything, but I'm going to share it with all of you. Here's the reality of XRP this year. We will have a major run-up, new all-time high. However, I think we are about 2 years away from seeing the true value of XRP. By then, I expect 3 digits based on Ripple and XRP, moving at least 10% of Swift's business on a daily basis, but it may happen even sooner. Wise investors will always be holding XRP. Now, people said to me in DMs, listen, Rich, you know it's going to happen this year. We are not going to achieve $100 this year. I'm just not seeing it at all. However, I do think we will see a new all-time high. And if you listen to the people that do the charts, they're all in agreement. $27 looks like the top for XRP in this next run-up. However, after that, we could expect at some point XRP moving at least 10% of Swift's business over time. Is it going to happen in 2 years? I'm not 100% sure. But what I was saying in this post is that over the next 2 years, it's going to be life-changing for a lot of XRP holders, because we're going to see utility kick in along the way. It could happen sooner or it could happen later. But I think we are very close to seeing XRP being utilized for what it's built to do. And people will deny that also. They'll say, come on, you're crazy. XRP is never going to hit $100. XRP is never going to be involved with Swift. But Swift is already pushing towards blockchain, pushing towards crypto, because they also want to stay relevant. When you're facing something like XRP that makes payments fast, cheap, and secure, you either get on board or you get left behind. And you know, I try to keep people going along the way at the same time. I see so many people just beaten down by this market. But if you really know what you're holding, you would just be sitting back and chilling until that time comes, because it is definitely coming. Ripple mentioned in the European Parliament by Standard Chartered Bank, February 20th, 2024. Marianne Weber, head of digital asset, market, and regulatory strategy at Standard Chartered Bank, was asked if she saw a future without clearinghouses. The reason Standard Chartered mentioned Ripple is because they've been working with Ripple ever since 2016. And the reason they're mentioning this in the EU right now is because the EU is ready to go live with real-time payments. And we all know RippleNet technology is going to be part of that. Most likely, they'll also be utilizing XRP, especially when it comes to cross-border payments. But we're not quite at that point yet. BNY Mellon's head of tokenization joining the ECB could potentially impact Ripple positively. The expertise brought by the former BNY Mellon executive could lead to increased adoption of blockchain technology, potentially benefiting Ripple as a prominent player in this space and a partner of BNY Mellon. BNY Mellon also pushing ahead, most likely looking to utilize RippleNet and XRP along the way. When it comes to tokenization, most likely a lot of that's going to end up on the XRP ledger. But remember World Economic Forum, Davos coverage? BNY Mellon's Vince says blockchain will be important for markets. BNY Mellon is a Ripple XRP partner. Ripple is in Davos right now. Remember back then they were already talking about blockchain and how important it's going to be moving forward. Because all the banks even know the direction that this is going in. The digital age is here. Today, SWIFT proposed a shared ledger for payment data using blockchain technology. They suggest their transaction manager discuss the benefits. DVP, it's heavy stuff. The discussion is sure to raise a lot of questions for XRP Ledger and Ripple fans. And even when you look at this, they're already talking about ISO as well. Even SWIFT is talking about tokenization. They're talking about blockchain interoperability. They're talking about collaboration already because SWIFT doesn't want to get left behind. You see where this is going. All roads lead to XRP and Ripple. Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, discussing how a third-party currency with sufficient liquidity is needed for cross-border payments. Take a listen.
With all that in mind, how do we deal with this issue of exchange rates and interoperability? How do we get these digital currencies to really just talk to each other?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think when we talk about interoperability, we can see it at least in three different levels. So the first level is how we manage domestic interoperability. So how we generate this digital currency solution and make this speak with the other things that are out there in a little bit in the idea of generating a platform so that everyone can connect to that platform and take advantage of the huge network externalities that we can get out of there. The second level is how do we manage cross-border transactions, even within the same currency, and that presents a certain level of challenges there. But when we talk about cross-currency and cross-border, then we face a completely difficult and different environment, and we can see three dimensions here. One is the technical dimension, so how we manage to get a system that speaks in a certain cryptographic language to speak with another that speaks another slightly different language. So that is one level of complexity. We need to get the technologies to speak to each other. The messaging element is fundamental. The second dimension, which is much more complicated to solve, so that one, the first one was the easy one, okay? And there is a lot of money that is being put in terms of trying to solve these technical issues of interoperability. Now, the second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen. And this really complicates things. So we need to put pieces of technology that can make more efficiency this use of liquidity so that more transactions can be settled. The third dimension, which is even more difficult than the previous one, is how do we manage to get homogeneity in terms of the policy requirements on different countries. And this becomes even more complicated when we think about, for example, AML-CFT and principles-based policies, and when we think about risk-based policies. We can code things that are very clearly stated, but when we're talking about principles-based regulation, this thing becomes really complicated, especially in an environment.
So what he is actually saying is you need a currency, something in the middle to move one currency into another currency. What is that? it's XRP. It goes in as the US dollar and comes out on the other end as, say, the Mexican peso. And then he talks about regulations. Also, they have to be the same in each jurisdiction. That's why the US regulations are going to be no different from MiCA. And every other country is going to go in that same direction. Because if you don't have the same regulations in country after country, you just can't make cross-border payments. That's what it comes down to. And that's why I said the US is going to have crypto regulations this year. They're going to be based off of MiCA. What you see happening in the EU is going to happen in the United States as well, and every other country. Thunes, Ripple payments partner, announces an expanding partnership with Visa to target emerging markets across Asia and Africa. The partnership began last year and continues to grow and expand with digital wallets into more regions globally. Uses XRP for transfers, and that's how you get rich. But like I said, rail after rail is already being put in place. And if it's not done by Ripple directly, it's done by partners of Ripple, utilizing RippleNet and XRP. And yet people still don't see the path to 3 digits for XRP. Former Ripple Robert Mitchnick, head of digital assets at BlackRock, on BlackRock creating a fund with Securitize, which is a big player in real-world asset tokenization. This is the latest progression of our digital asset strategy. We are focused on developing solutions in the digital asset space that help solve real problems for our clients, and we are excited to work with Securitize. Who is Securitize? Securitize investors, SBI, Ripple, BlackRock, and more. Now you see BlackRock and Ripple coming together through Securitize, and in other ways as well. You think BlackRock doesn't know what Ripple is? You think they don't know what XRP is? They got into this space for utility, not Bitcoin. Brad Garlinghouse is so humble. All exchanges delisted XRP and only uphold let us trade during the Ripple lawsuit. Coinbase sympathized for ETH. ICO is a joke, and ICO is a security. And you see, Brad said this: the SEC picks fights with the industry and is losing badly in the courts. They're now fighting fellow regulators like the CFTC and falling behind international counterparts. At what point will the SEC realize they will lose the war against ETH, just as they lost against XRP? I like the fact that Brad is sticking up for all of crypto once again, and he's not pissing all over ETH. And you know, like I said, the SEC going after ETH, in my opinion, is more overreach from Gary Gensler. And I think he's trying to do it just to crush crypto. But, you know, as an XRP holder, we want to see ETH get exposed. And I'm hoping to see that at some point in the future. But Brad Garlinghouse took the higher ground, and I like the fact of that. But you know, we are crypto investors. We're XRP investors. And what I'm trying to show you over time is the growth around Ripple. Because if you look at the growth and you look at everything that's going on, you already see the clear path to a high-priced XRP. Yet every time I make a video like this, people say, come on, nothing's happening. Look at the price of XRP, sitting here at 61 cents. Look at XRP dumping out again. You gotta stay focused on the much bigger picture. Because if you don't, you're not going to make it in this market. You're not going to make it as an XRP holder. You're going to sell way too soon. And then all of a sudden, you're going to watch XRP continue to rise in price time and time again. And we're definitely going to rise in price based off of the AMM as well. That value is going to happen. But it's going to take a little bit of time. And I did not expect it to happen on day one. But until it all does happen, you got to stay patient and stay positive. Let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.